Hello, welcome to Insure Africa's YouTube channel. Today we want to look at terrorism and to see whether or not you really need a terrorism cover. Some Kenyans have lost property and have lost money as a result of terrorist activities in the country, and there's always this debate as to whether we need to think about buying a terrorist cover or not. Terrorist incidents don't seem very frequent, so some people are not sure whether they're supposed to actually buy a terrorism cover or not. So today I want to give you 4 reasons why you really need to think about a terrorism cover. Number 1, terrorist incidents are a lot more frequent than is reported in the news. Simply because the main news item wasn't about terrorism doesn't mean that no terrorist incident took place in the country. Of course, there are the big ones, Westgate, Beketoni and such, but there usually are the smaller incidents around the country, some grenade thrown somewhere, a little gunfight with the terrorists in a certain place, and all those things add up into a risk that you need to care about. Secondly, terrorism is a real risk. If your car was on Westgate that day that the terrorists came and attacked people there, then you'd have known that it's a reality and that it happens. Cars in and around Westgate were affected, some by our law enforcement officers, some by the terrorists themselves, but they got into trouble. People's property was damaged as a result of the activity of terrorists. So we would encourage you to think about a terrorism cover. Thirdly, terrorism is not just about guns and bombs. I'm sure when you hear of terrorists, you think about Al-Shabaab and you see the big guns and explosions and things like that. What we'd like you to know is there are many other things that can happen as a result of terrorist activities. What if you're hijacked by terrorists? What if they carjacked you and took your car? What if you were driving and you ran into a terrorist who was going in the opposite direction, probably running away from law enforcement, and your car ended up in trouble, or your property for that matter? All that is terrorism, and if you didn't have a cover against terrorism, you may have trouble recovering your money. And finally, terrorism is linked to the environment you operate in. If you have a lot of activities in areas that we know are prone to terror, then you need to have a terrorist cover put up for your family, your business, and your property, your car, your house, and all, because those areas would have higher incidents of terrorism. So look at the areas where you operate from, the things you do, whether you go for business or for pleasure. If you go to places which have high incidents of terrorism, then you need to think about it. You need to think about a terrorist cover. Thank you.